Hey folks, I'm Mr. Hartzler, and I wanted to talk to you today about Algebra 2, and this is for Unit 8.1, and this is Part 2. If you look on my website, which is mrclayhartzler.weebly.com, you'll be able to find all of these videos in the order, not that I made them, but in the order that they apply to my classes. So for my Algebra 2 class, this is technically the second one because 8.1 has a Part 1. It's just a long video, so I decided to kind of trim it up by making this as a second part. So first problem we're going to do here is work with these two fractions, and we're dividing them, which is kind of tricky. Instead of dividing them, we're actually going to change this to a multiplication, and in doing so, we have to multiply by the reciprocal. So the original left side here, not going to change anything. It's still x squared minus 9x plus 20, and I'm dividing by x squared plus 10x plus 21. Now instead of dividing, I'm going to change it to multiplication, and I multiply by the reciprocal of this second fraction right here. So it's now going to be 6x plus 42 on top, and x squared minus x minus 12 on bottom. Next thing I need to do is factor the top and the bottom. So this x squared minus 9x plus 20, that has to be trimmed up, or sorry, not trimmed up, factored. And with that, we get an x minus 4, and then an x minus 5. The denominator there, x squared plus 10x plus 21. That's x plus 3 times x plus 7. We're multiplying by what? Well, right here, we can only factor out the GCF. So we are going to do that since we can at least do something, and maybe that 6 will cancel. Then we have 6x plus, not 4. That should be a 7. Divided by, this is going to be x minus 4 and x plus 3. They add up to get me negative 1, multiply to get me the negative 12. Now let's see what cancels. There should hopefully be a good bit that does. We have an x minus 4, and x plus 7, x plus 7. So it's not as much as what we'd like, but it's still something. Now I'm going to write what we have left, and again we're multiplying fractions, so we go straight across. We're going to have a x minus 5 times 6, and we're going to have x plus 3 times x plus 3. Now when these get more complicated, like the next one, I'm okay with leaving it like this, but in this case it's not too bad. Let's distribute that all out. So we end up with 6x minus 5, and no parentheses anymore. We have x squared plus 6x plus 9. So that's it for this one. Let's go on to our next problem here. Right here, this is a complicated fraction because we have a fraction on top and the bottom of a bigger fraction then. We're going to do the same thing we did last time, and instead of dividing by a fraction, we're going to change this to multiplication, and we're going to multiply by the reciprocal of the denominator. So again, my top fraction, not changing, still going to be x minus 2 in parentheses, all squared, divided by, still this thing, 2x squared plus 5x plus 4, and we're now multiplying, okay, instead of division, we're multiplying by the reciprocal of this. So we have x squared minus 4 on top, so now that's going to be on bottom. And we had 4x minus 10 on bottom, so now we're going to have 4x minus 10 on top. Now I'm going to do the same thing we did last time, and I'm going to factor the top chunk here, x minus 2 all squared. That's already factored. Please do not be that person that tries to factor something that's already factored. That's just obnoxious. So x squared plus 5x plus 4, well, that factors to an x plus 4 and an x plus, not 5, 1. I like you can erase it right there. That's convenient. Here we can factor out a GCF of, you guessed it, 2. So 2, and then we have 2x minus 5. Divided by, this is difference of squares. Hopefully you picked up on that. Now we're going to see what cancels. 2x minus 5, that's a bummer. That doesn't cancel with anything. But there is a 2 on top and bottom, 2 here and 2 here. We have a x minus 2 that cancels, but only with one of these. So I'm going to crisscross this out, and I'm going to write that I only have one there left. Now I'm going to combine everything that it's left over. We have 1x minus 2, this one right here. And we have a 2x minus 5, that's also in the numerator. And for a denominator, we're going to have x minus 4, x plus 1. We'll start plus 4, I think. There we go. And x plus 1. And, ooh, minus 5 there. I put a plus 5. That's not good. Both of these should be minuses. So that means both of these should be minuses down here as well. Let's edit that. Again, I just noticed the little mistake right here. This should be a minus. I just copied that down wrong from the original. So these factors are a negative 4 and negative 1. But the good thing is they still don't cancel, so it doesn't really affect a whole lot. Alright, so this problem here, this is okay to leave it just like this. On a test, I don't want my students wasting time foiling these out so many times. It's kind of a waste. Not as helpful as this part up here. This is the part that I'm going to be grading for this section. Unless for some reason my directions say to take this further. In that case, the contract is specific, so you got to be specific. Hopefully this was helpful. If it was, please click that like button. That's going to be right down here. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. And if you have any tips for this drawing tablet, let me know. It's pretty cool, but I'm new to it. So if you have any ideas, please let me know. Have a great day, everybody.